Good evening! Welcome to another round of demos, Steam demos. So during the weekend, I'm gonna be playing 2 days, well, the weekend, Saturday and Sunday of demos, probably going forward, as long as I can find enough demos during the week. And this one was one I found a couple weeks ago, during the Steam Next Fest, but I never did get around to it. But I wanted to give it a shot, so yes, Persona 5 inspired UI. Hello Satinao, how are you doing? And I remember I did link this one to you in chat some time ago, but I never did get around to it, so now I have. I'm good, thank you. Feeling good. Doing well. I'm not sure how long this demo is. It's somewhere between 45 minutes and 2 hours long. So, aside from the thing you said earlier, yeah, besides those. So we'll probably end up playing 2 games today. Probably. Which game the second game is depends on how long this first game is. So we'll find out. We shall find out. I'm a little bit echoey on my end, which is always weird. I had to move this to full screen. It was windowed mode to start. I'm not sure what this means. I'm not sure why this is like this. Like this? Like what? Oh, it scrolls down. Ah, okay. Whatever this is, let's have this on. This is some fancy text. Does it run on Kidderson does? Sure. This is very weird. This whole UI here at the side. My mic sounds very, not only echoey, but blowy to me. It feels like there's blowback when I'm talking to the mic. It's not supposed to have that. It's supposed to dull that. Skip battle animations, Difficulty, there's a lot of difficulty options, but which one am I on at the moment? I guess I don't know until I start, maybe. Extra. That's fine. Return. Let's hop into the game. Yep, here we are. So what actually happened here is that they have 9 different... Isn't that what's happening here? They have 9 different iterations. Easy, easy standard, easy hard, easy standard, easy. Like why? Just have a grid of 3 and a grid of 3 like what you have in here. Why do you have to have 9 separate iterations? Anyway. Enemies can creep by you very well. Nah, let's go to standard. Choices that would normally have a variable chance of success always succeed. I don't like that choices have that. But whatever. Making choices will progress time. The sun rises before you're done is game. That is an interesting mechanic. Might be too accommodating, yeah. That's an interesting thing. But is this thing about the thing about this, if the sun rises before you're done is game over, is that a mechanic in the game if you go standard? I wonder. Because this is an interesting concept to have in a magical girl game, right? It's kind of like Cinderella. Like you have to, there's a certain time frame that you can henshin into. And if the sun rises, if you run out of time before you complete your task or whatever, then it's game over. I like this, but I don't think we have to go hard for that. But I don't like things that have variable chances of success. So that's very weird. Maybe they should split this out into 9 different options as well. And then they can split the one in the main menu out into 27 different options. It makes sense, right? Anyway, we'll go standard. Confirm. My palms sweat a bit as I walk into the pitch black simulation room. Well, here we go again. Let's try not to screw this one up. they're already implying time loops. Oh, I can use my mouse wheel to scroll up and down through past conversations. This is going to happen a lot because I instinctively use my mouse wheel a lot more than I should, just as kind of like a stress reliever. So that's a rotten attitude. Bree button. Look, they have the thing in my blog. They have that plugin, the text hovering plugin that I have in my blog. Mouse familiar who grew up in a large family. Childhood friends with Kotori Mori. Except that you can actually click on things to open a new page. This is kind of interesting and yet weird at the same time. You kind of see they just blurred out the lines that you haven't unlocked yet. I like they have a little picture of the characters as well. Return. Spoilers. Just think of all the great food we'll be eating once we finally have jobs. You don't want to keep having soup-flavored food cubes every night, do you? Actually, we've run out of money for soup flavor. I think we're officially reduced to unflavored food cubes. I audibly gasp, but before I can say anything, the sound of the intercom turning on cascades through the room. Welcome, Kotori Mori and Bree. That's me. Lucky new magical girl from Gumbrook Town. Remember my name. A pause. The sound of paper shuffling can be heard through the intercom. Bree butter nuggets? Bree sighs. Yes, that's us. Oh, when I right click, this opens. You know I should save. I'm also going to accidentally open that several times during the playthrough, because that's another key that I hit for stress relief now and then. The guild rep mutters something under her breath as she picks up more paper. Hello, and thank you for your interest in the Hammer Guild, a construction guild focused on making structures such as home bases that make magical girls' lives easier. The Hammer Guild has an esteemed reputation of 238 years building, yada yada yada, you don't care about this stuff. We hear her flip through the pages of the packet. Okay, so basically, there's a big purple guy and some friends in the building, and they want you to beat him up, okay? Sounds like fun! Sure, just gonna hit the button and get this thing started. Machines whir to life around us, and after a beat, beams of bright white light penetrate the darkness. Sand-like materials in the walls and floors shift and then solidifies to resemble a rough forest environment, complete with a tall forest canopy. What anime? Oh, I know what anime. Never mind. There was an anime that did something like this that I watched recently, but I couldn't remember what it was for a split second. But now I do. It's Birdie Wing, the golf show. They did this for their to create their synthetic golf courses. Anyway, ooh, I like this. I like that you can hover your mouse over this, and the UI just appears, and you can click on your option. This is very cool. Just as suddenly as it started, the scene becomes still, with only the sound of a few distant animals to be heard. Looks like we're near the Weeping Cliffs. Pretty close to home, actually. A series of plateaus known for the poisonous waterfalls that flow in the central crater. I wonder how this works though, because wasn't that thing that we just went through was that a teleport machine, or was that a synthetic thing? I guess this kind of implies that it is a teleport machine instead. Yeah. So I guess we'll be fighting gut morts. I can't think of any problems they pose. Any pictures? No. Creatures that live in the Weeping Cliffs and eat just about anything. These things up here had... Oh wait. There's only like 2 creatures in the demo. Up here, these characters had like little icons. So I was wondering if the gut mods did as well. They don't. Return. A red building stands in front of us, with one door and one window. Something's barring the door from opening. The window's locked too. An invisible wall prevents us from walking around to any of the building's other sides. the hated invisible wall in RPGs. Well, let's just smash the window and climb through it then. Won't that alert whatever's in there? Maybe we should look around and see if we can find something better. Look around, Sama. Okay, party pooper, what do you suggest? It looks like the lock to the door is in a handle, which means there shouldn't be a deadbolt. He takes a piece of bark from one of the nearby trees and slides it between the door and the wall, undoing the latch and opening the door a crack. Why are you grinning at me like that? How do you know how to pick locks? He didn't pick locks. He used something to push the lock open. He didn't pick the lock. That's not called lock picking. Kotari, being a magical girl's animal familiar means being well researched in all manner of academic topics. Also, I forgot the key at home all the time growing up. Also, you can hover over a character to see their health and their energy. The problem with this is that this is okay. This is offset to the left. So Kotari's hover thing is actually misplaced. Or maybe, Bree might be saying, also, I forgot my key at home all the time growing up. Also, my lord, or my. But no, yeah, writing is hard. Well, spell checking is hard. I get it. Slowly, Bree opens the door just enough for the two of us to sneak in. A gut mart sits in the windowsill I had proposed breaking earlier, probably thinking evil monster thoughts to himself or something. Looks like you had a good plan, Bree. He won't even be able to react to this. Choices will have impacts on future events. In this case, you stun the enemy for one turn by being cautious. Stun. Stun. Every turn, each of our characters can perform one action. You can bring up a character's list of actions by hovering the mouse over their picture, or by navigating between them with the arrow keys. Bring up a character's list of action by hovering the mouse or by, arrow key select the character, Performing actions cost magic and or stamina points. Magic is a universal resource shared between all characters. It's used for more ethereal actions like shooting a fireball. Stamina as is individual to each character. It is used for physical actions like running away or lifting a heavy object. It looks like I can use the actions in any order. So I can press down and up to cycle through the skills, left and right through characters, down and up through skills, but they need to highlight which skill is being, this highlighting needs to happen when I use the keyboard, and it doesn't. So you get cases like this where my mouse is over this and this is highlighted, but something else is actually, the tooltip is showing something else instead. Anyway, how much health do you have? I can't check here. This is a buff. This is a absorbs the flame that engulfs an ally or enemy, turning to raw magical power. Why would I want to do this to an enemy? But it raises the user's attack stat. So even if it engulfs, if I engulf the fire surrounding him, I get a stat bonus. Probably. Fling a large ball of fire, that sounds good. Rest, 60 stamina. This is our magic bar. 60 the magic pool. Small cheesy treat. Okay, so I have a heal, that's nice. Does more damage to already poison, that's nice. So I guess we fireball him. So I guess these are straight traits. So he's stunned and he's on fire. Now he's gonna be on poison. Well, not on poison, he's gonna be poison. So the fire expired, but the poison did not. See, this is too slow. You can't have each effect on him resolved, like take 2 seconds to resolve. That is much too slow. Yes, thank you. Little magic and all of your characters recover little stamina. That doesn't make sense either. Unless you also recover magic and stamina between dialogue phases. But we'll see. We'll see how they do that. Because it doesn't make sense if I regen a little bit and 5 hours later we have our next fight and we're still not full. I do not like games that incrementally regenerate your health or mana at the end of combat or in combat, but not out of combat. But for now, we're gonna toss another fireball at him, I guess. I don't know if you're gonna die. You probably die from that, so I'm gonna generate magic. Plus 60 equals 95. How do I actually hit okay though? I guess that's how. And the UI as well is far too squarish. Squarish UIs like this. Ow. Brie tastes like Brie. You don't have the magic to perform action. Characters use their stamina to make up the difference. Oh. I do hate squares. It's unprofessional. You can't have squares. It's squarish UI. Like these round buttons, perfectly fine. But the text boxes that came up here telling me how much damage was done, firstly, they go by too fast. But they individually they come too slow. But they also disappear too fast. There needs to be a combat luck. But also, they should not be just perfect squares like that. This is what you need, like rounded corners, at the very least. The character runs out of health, they will collapse and become unusable until the end of the mission. All these, perfect, just fine. It doesn't look good. Like if you just have UI elements which are just squares with like colors in them, they don't look good at all. Okay, is there a combat log? How do I tell? So there isn't a combat log. And the things go by too quickly. What is this? Font override's nice. See, what's the point of having default and deja vu sense? They're the same font. Why? This makes no sense. Why? Default is not a system default. That's not the way it works, right? These two are doing the same thing. Self-voicing. This sounds interesting.
Self-voicing enabled. Self-voicing enable selected. Clipboard voicing enable.
What is clipboard voicing? Let's leave this on clipboard for now. We'll try self-voicing in a bit. We'll try text-to-speech in a bit. But this sounds interesting. What is debug? Now let's not play with debug. Okay, anyway, we did not find a combat log, but we found other interesting things. Clipboard voicing, Alt Shift C, whatever that means. Accessibility, activate bar. Phone menu P. Now, Self-voicing. Self-voicing sounds like, yo, you're a streamer. You talk. You voice the characters yourself. But that's not actually what self-voicing means though. Because if that was true, self-voicing would be on for the silent one. But no. Self-voicing probably just toggles whatever this is on and off. But the name of the choice itself is weird. Okay, whatever. Clipboard voicing anyway. Let's see how this works. So I'm not at full health and I'm not at full mana. I'm at 91 and 70. So we'll see what happens, well, after the battle, I guess. See, that square thing went by too quickly and was too ugly. This is okay. This is a victory screen. See, these are so pretty that combat UI stands out in a very glaring way. Everything else is nice and round. And that's that. A raw descends from upstairs. This doesn't seem to do anything. Oh, unless that was a thing. That must be the purple dude. I say we go outside, get a big boulder, and throw it at him.
Self-voicing disabled.
Why do all your solutions involve throwing rocks? So no, that was already there. So I'm not sure what clipboard is.
Accessibility menu.
Hi Emmy, how are you
Breathe.
doing?
Why do all your solutions involve throwing rocks? Why do all your solutions involve throwing rocks? Bree, that sounds like it'll take a lot of energy. We should probably save ourselves for the actual battle.
I'm good,
Bree,
thank you.
That sounds like it'll take
I'm
a lot of
amusing
energy.
myself.
We should probably save ourselves for the actual battle.
Why are you repeating everything twice? But I'm being amused by like
Bree,
options.
Bree, that sounds like it. Coterie, I say we go outside, get a big boulder, and throw it at Bree.
Throw it at I'm.
Bree.
Anyway.
Sometimes, the selected. 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 Select. Selected. Select.
Anyway.
Selected.
Sometimes, the choices you're presented with while exploring will impact stats and resources. In this case, Coterie throwing a boulder will damage your next opponent but cost her 20 stamina.
Enter throwing a boulder, -20. Just go upstairs. Enter throwing a boulder. Display. Skip.
Okay, that was fun. Off.
Self-voicing disabled.
And stay disabled. Okay. Sure. I go back outside and find the biggest rock I can. And oh no, today's an IDK day, eh, Emmy? Not as good as an OK. But better than a bad day, I guess. I hope. With an utter lack of any subtlety, we burst through the door upstairs. Housewarming gift! Needless to say, the creature doesn't appreciate his present. In fact, tries to re-gift it to me, an attempt that flies straight through the wall behind us just after we duck. You're being evicted. Ree just sighs and floats to my side, ready to fight. See, that your turn box was so ugly. Also, an allied faction. Oh, this is now. Ah, just fireball. So he healed. He was 91 and like 70 or something, maybe a bit lower. He heals 60 something. He heals his health and some of his stamina. I guess we fireball this guy first. So fireball. But then if I hover here, what happened earlier? I guess maybe I didn't click fireball. Anyway, whatever. Fireball you on the big guy. You. See, I can't click on him until that, not only the animation finish, but until the debuff plays its stupid animation thing. Then I can click on him. Poison. Okay, this is too slow. And conversely, the boxes appear too quickly. They appear and disappear too quickly. But the interval between each resolution is too slow. Just like the animation in Blue Reflection. Which one? Oh, yes. The one where I cannot do anything until the animation finishes. Exactly. Fireball this guy. Your poison, I don't know how much the poison will do. Generate magic. That did not do much damage at all. Did it tick again? No, I don't think so. So I do have to kill you. You're not gonna poison. You're not gonna get poisoned to death. Unfortunately, I could heal you. Poison does nothing anyway. Yeah, just heal you. That bar was very weird. It took a while to fill. But you kind of filled halfway and then jump to the end. Or maybe not. Maybe you're just seeing things. This should not be here, right? So this poison icon was on this monster before it disappeared. But the monster is dead, but the poison icon is still here. It's like, come on. Generate magic. FFX poison does 1/4 of max health each round. That is poison. Yes, the coin is weaker than goodness. Wait, what happened to my generate magic? Uh-huh. Can I cast this when there's no flame for me to absorb? I can. It doesn't do anything. I guess that's realistic. I was curious though. Am I poisoned? I am poisoned. Okay. Eat a fireball. Wait, now you're burning twice. How did you get burned twice from that one spell? Intrigue. Some games is annoying, some games is deadly. In some games you need poison to debuff the attack value. Obviously not this one, but probably. But in those games, poison is very useful as well. Okay, generate magic. I guess this will make me make my attacks more powerful, but I don't need this, right? I can just fireball you. Now playing Victory, Samantha something. I like that they credit the composer or the artist. Dark Souls has both poison and toxin. Make up your mind. Which mechanic is it? The creature dissolves into a pile of sludge that begins to seep through the floorboards. He's trying to get away so he can regroup. Quick, downstairs. I tear away, raising a fiery fist in pursuit of the creature. But I'm stopped by something hard and sticky grabbing my hand in midair. My momentum swings my feet out from under me as my fist is stopped dead. A tingling sensation runs down my arm into my chest, and my magical girl form falters for a second. What the? The room in front of me glitches out of existence, an 8-legged creature standing in its place. Botkins? What are they doing here? Look, we found the other creature. Wait, this guy has an icon, but this one doesn't. We have icons. Why don't you have an icon? Tiny creatures that live in the Botkin ruins. They make webs that can cast illusions on their prey. Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a cop-out. It sounds like the creative team could not decide which version of poison they want, and someone was like, why not both? And therefore the game had both. But I've never been a fan of Dark Souls mechanics and lore. I think it's super overhyped. I'll still play the game someday though. But things like that, yeah. I tend to not give them the benefit of the doubt. The level design is good, but that's all that is good. Qatari duck. I feel another cloud of webbing hit my back and completely lose my magical girl farm. Why do I want to play if I don't like it? Because it's still a challenge, and like the mechanics, the level design is good. The mechanics are okay. There's some nonsense like that, but also other pieces of nonsense. Like just because a game doesn't have good lore, I think people overstate the lore rather. Things like that. It doesn't mean it's not a good game to play mechanically. The Botkins quickly overwhelm us, and we take tremendous amount of simulated damage. So this is a simulation. A buzzer goes off and the simulation fades. Well, I'll save you the speech, but if you're ever in a situation like that again, it says in this packet that Botkin webs are flammable. You mean the packet you didn't read to us? Look, kid, I'm paid minimum wage to press buttons when they light up on a computer. If the buzzer goes off, you don't get in. There's literally nothing I can do about it. I grumble under my breath. Why don't we go get some food and wind down a bit? Sure, why not? I can't help but slam the door closed as we enter the small shop. I should save. Nice sounds. She said Botkin webs are flammable, and I guess the whole building was supposed to be a Botkin illusion, but I tossed so many webs. What kind of guild test wants you to burn the whole building down is the right answer. It's like the Star game all over again, inconveni, yeah. Suddenly, my phone rings. Hello? This is Butch Starkiller from the Cobalt Guild. Look at her face, this art is great. The Cobra leader of the Cobra Guild likes to brag about being one giant muscle. Look, there's an icon for him as well. There's an icon for everything but the gut mark. Cobra Guild. Special Ops Guild that saves magical girls who are injured or trapped outside the barrier. Nice. This is nice. Good lah. Well, good world building. The Cobra Guild, Special Ops. Their job is to save magical girls who are lost or injured during fieldwork. Is this the one and only Kotari Mori I'm speaking with? This is her. I put the phone on speaker so Bree can hear. Excellent. I got the notes from her interview today. Really good stuff, kid. Really good stuff. In fact, we're up for giving you a test. Thank you so much. What sim room do you use? Ha! Sim room? Those make magical girls soft, kid. This is a real test. You know the Walking Ruins? A remnant. Even this is a picture. The remnant of the human tribe before the collapse. It's thought an ancient king or queen lived here. Now a good place for odd resources like little boxes and citizen dust. I pull up the area on my phone and look over what other magical girls are saying about it. Thought to once be home to tribal royalty, the Botkin ruins are primarily known as a hotspot for pre-collapse treasures such as Catisan dust. Shiny silvery material used as lubrication for machinery and as a heat sink when necessary. Okay. How many locations are there? Quite a lot of locations for this like demo. Even though there are only 2 enemies. Oh, return. Return. Bingo. Bring us back one of them, Citizen sticks, and you'll officially be part of the guild. Sounds like a deal? Yes, of course, thank you very much. Kotari? Romantic killer, yeah. A small magical being that bought. I love the word I love your use of the word borders. Hot magical girls in the area. Pretty much, yes. Some of them need rescuing, apparently. And hello, that makes sense? Long time no see. Yeah, I don't think I watched Romantic Killer, right? I think you wanted me to watch that, but I never got around to it. That's what I like to hear. Good luck out there. I look forward to making you a cobra. He hangs up. The music stopped right when he hung up. That's the farthest we've ever gotten with a guild. Yeah, but look at all the warnings on these ruins. 56 casualties this year? That's insane. The info here says it doesn't grow in a while. I'm not surprised. The only places left to get it. Most people. The info here says it doesn't grow in a while. So they're talking about Caterson, dust or whatever. I'm not surprised the only places left to get it. Most people wouldn't make it out of alive. So, do you really want to risk something like that just so we can have a job? Do you want to keep living off of unflavored food cues from Sparkle Mart? Sparkle Mart, eh? I can feel the dark magic pouring out the shopkeeper from here. Well, there's no shopkeeper. Oh, never mind. As if on cue, the sense of magic grows exponentially. Back? Sure. I guess it couldn't hurt. A symbol appears on the floor between us, which slowly opens up into a glowing red pit. A long clawed hand unravels its spindly fingers as it exits the portal, handing Bree a small mashback. Nice. But this shopkeeper did not have a character thing, so he must not be an important character. Poor guy. This is hilarious. The mental image of this is very good. It pats him on the shoulder before disappearing to the portal from which it came. The shopkeeper nods. Thank you for shopping at Sparkle Mart. He dissolves back into the darkness, his eyes lingering for a moment before disappearing with a blink. Alright, fine, let's do it. But we're going to need to plan carefully. Sparkle Mart. Sparkle Mart is a great name for a supermarket, for a convenience store set in a magical girl world. It's set in a magical girl city, I guess. Go and Kotori is most powerful. Go and Bree is most powerful. What does this mean? What does it mean? Yeah, Sparkle Mart. Yes, the Kira. The star thing that you just did sparkles. Her shirt here is also very magical girl. Cause her shirt is Hikari means like light, which is the magical girl like element. Yeah, who you think is the best carry? Yeah, probably. So Bree is a healer and Kotori is like the fire DPS. Bree has a poison attack that we saw in the tutorial battle, but it doesn't really do much damage. So obviously you go with when Kotori is most powerful. Kira. Sotomayor did that song with Mori. With Mori Kallio. Kira. Go when Kotori is most powerful. Yeah, let's do that. We'll go with the next full Tawna moon. Tawna, the Phoenix goddess. Goddess of passion, represented by the red moon. What category is this under? Goddess. Okay. 5 of them, and we've seen the 2 of them. This must be like fire and air or something, right? Phoenix and Dove, yeah. Probably. We'll go at the next full Tawna moon. I'll be able to kick some real butt that night. I suppose if you're going to do most of the fighting, it makes sense to keep you in top form. Magical girls draw power from the moons that surround the planet. Pressing the escape key and going to the team page lets you see how the size of the moons is affecting your character's stats. Escape. Team. Kotori Mari. Wait, but how do we... Oh, this thing. Tawna 100 affects attack damage. Affects crit damage. Defense damage? Evade damage? What's HLN? Attack, crit, defense, evasion. Oh, healing. Oh. This doesn't really... If this moon's at 80% right now, and we both still won, that doesn't really help. Why would I? What's your power then? Is it just defense? I don't know. Who knows? There were slip and jump elements in Satinal's game. It's true. It's a plan then. Now, let's get home so we can eat. A few days later, the train station is busy as usual. Most rails are run by the Wyvern Guild. What's this? One of the few magical girl guilds that run trains. They leave the barrier for other locations. I like this guild. Trains. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are quite a lot of guilds, 11 guilds. This is an icon, this is an icon. For some reason, this one doesn't. So most rails are run by the Wyvern Guild, so naturally their crest is plastered all over several terminals. The train we're riding is called the Tourmaline Express. Sure. It's meant specifically for magical girls, meaning they don't need a security protocol and intercity train would, letting it run daily. The warm orange glow of an artificial sunrise dances across the floor. Love the word tourmaline? Yeah. Yes, the gem. But if I look through the window, no celestial bodies can be seen. I know the moons are coming up somewhere out there though. Torna, the moon I'm most connected to, is full tonight, meaning my power is at its peak. A woman my age greets us at the boarding ramp. I remember seeing you two before. The name's Claire. Claire Bell, character, lead conductor on a Tourmaline Express, and high-ranking magical girl in the Wyvern Guild. Do you pronounce it Wyvern or Wyvern? I guess a lot of people pronounce it Wyvern, and I've slowly drifted in a direction. But since young, I've called it Wyvern. Anyway, I go back and forth. I'm Katori, and this is my friend Bree. We'd like 2 tickets to the Botkin Ruins, please. Yeah, Wyvern, yeah, a lot of people, waifu, yeah. Well, hold on there, I gotta approve you first. Yeah, I always thought it was Wyvern growing up, and once in a while I still pronounce it that way. But I've definitely heard most people, in fact almost everyone say Wyvern, so yeah. With that, she takes out her tablet and a stylus to write with. IDs, please. We pull up pairing mode on our phones and let her scan. Yeah, Amy, agreed. Those words are all very evocative of like something resplendent. Not just normal colors or gems. Alright, Kotori Mori, affiliated with the Torna Moon, and Bree Butternuggets, affiliated with the Bodia Moon. Bree groans at the mention of his full name. I can't help but laugh. Whoa, it says you two aren't even guild affiliated. I'm sorry, I can't let you on if you haven't even passed your sims. This is actually a test mission for the Cobra Guild. They want us to pick up some Cadison dust for them. She tilts her head back and sighs. Butch Starkiller, I swear on Druntix's name. Another goddess. Goddess of Chaos, represented by the purple moon. I'm sorry you gotta hear it this way, but you'll just have to tell your texting mentor I can't take newbies out into real-life danger. Come on, my dad used to take me out in the forest all the time when I was a kid. Well, that's irresponsible and also not my problem. I like how the things zoomed in and the characters are going back, the cameras going back and forth between the characters. But then what do we do? These guys are frazzled. Please, Claire, we've been eating scraps for 6 months. I can't take it anymore. Claire scrolls through a tablet a bit, then takes a deep breath and exhales. Tell you what, why don't you two follow me for a sec? She walks through the train's doors and beckons for us to follow. As I walk onto the train, the scent of strawberries greets me. Hey, Kaida, you two are going to Botkin, right? Kaida Hikari. Hey, that's the shirt I'm wearing. Hikari shirt. A veteran magical girl from Larima City. Her parents own the Hikari Guild. Wow. A rich Ojo-sama magical girl. I wonder if the reference that I'm wearing a Hikari shirt. Yes, that's right. Being paid by the Halo Guild, the guild that makes most of the medicinal products in Larima. They also have hospitals, including one specifically for magical girls. To extract a sample of the Queen's venom for analysis. Could you do me a favor and watch over these newbies then? They need to pick up some Kata-sentas, but they could use a mentor to guide them through it. I shift uncomfortably as the woman looks us up and down. That depends. Can we get a cut of your pay? Well, our pay is getting into the Cobra Guild, so I don't think that's possible. That seems to pique your interest, as Kata blinks a few times in astonishment, and her familiar's eyes. The familiar looks like an elephant with bad ears. But her face looks like an elephant, the ears look like a bat, and her familiar's eyes light up with excitement. She looks me directly in the eye, as if evaluating me. Now playing Wish 5 harmony. That implies that there are several versions of that song, eh? Don't worry about it then. Now, this girl's doing a huge favor for you. Y'all need to promise you'll follow orders. That includes getting yourself to safety and leaving us behind if needed. Understand? We understand. One more favor. Don't let the two of them near the central building. That's where the most dangerous critters hide. Oh, that's a death flag for sure. Ah, it's a pirate. Yeah, she's a pirate, yeah, because due to her eye patch, for sure. Now you're starting to sound like a mom or something. If by that you mean I'm being the responsible one around here, then yes, I'm being the responsible one. Teehee. Don't worry, Claire. We'll make sure they stay clear. Sounds like a deal then. She takes out a stylus again and hits a few buttons on the tablet. It's a good time to remind people that we're on a train. I didn't actually take a good look at like the backdrop of the scene until now. But firstly, this is a really wide train. And I guess these are like the handrails. And the seats are all... They look really comfortable. And the walls are all kira. Bree and I get a notification and tickets to the Botkin Ruins pop up on our screens. You're all set. As you heard, my name is Kata, and this is my animal familiar, Gigi. A dragon familiar. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to call you an elephant. That was a Suikoden thing. A dragon familiar who's good friends with Kaida Hikari. Kaida Hikari. She believes herself related to dragon royalty. Gigi Monile. Hello. The tickets say your names are Kotori and Bree? Yep. Last call. The staff waits another minute for anyone else to board, then gives a signal to pull out of the station. I take a deep breath. There's no turning back now. Nervous? Yeah. Good. That's actually a good thing, yeah. Nervous? Yeah. Good. It means you're not overconfident. As we get further away from the train station, the large magical barrier that surrounds the city comes into view. However, as we get closer, the imperfections in the dome sky become more apparent, more digital looking. The Wyvern Guild members start to prep, transforming their magical forms and checking their weapons. Some climb to the train's roof, while others go to the train's two ends to monitor there. I feel like this could make a good game in and of itself. The Wyvern Guild, and like the trains. Day changes to night as the train passes through the barrier with ease and we enter the surrounding forest. Twisted trees and fungus infected with crystals that tear their bark like a rash choke the environment. The Train Guild, not the Training Guild. Train Guild. Although you'll have to go through the Training Guild to get to the Train Guild. They illuminate the forest in a soft glow. The background here also changed, right? Especially the sparkles. Now the sparkles are lit up. Gigi is poring over information on her phone. It looks like all sightings on the Queen place her in the central building. We'll have to help Kotori and Bree, then move on to the Venom sample ourselves. She's interrupted by the sound of something slamming against the side of the train. With a blast of magic from the train's rooftop brigade, the creature is dispelled and retreats back into the forest. There isn't much information on the Queen here at all. Oh, that usually means that everyone who's met her has died before they could add entry to the database. Hehehe. He's not worried at all. Joy. Oops. Well, let's save over here. Save. Interesting, you can have save folders. So you can have a folder for like a certain playthrough. Then put your saves in there. Joy. The train starts to slow to a stop. Ready or not, this is where we get off. That is pretty neat, yeah. Assuming it works. Anything else before we head out? Never seen that before. I feel like I've seen at least one other game with that, but I don't remember what. No idea. I feel like it was a game something close to Papers, Please. Was similar, or either that or they were talking about having a feature like that, but they didn't. Also, Skyrim does if you use certain mods, but then you don't get to see the other folders during your playthrough, I think. Anyway, yeah, very rare. Even if it has been done before, it's very rare. Here's a half moon. Ooh, you can even hover over the moon. This is nice. Except that the stuff is behind the tooltip is behind this thing. But this is very neat. Anything else before we head out? Any game does if you put the save file into a different folder. Yeah, that's true. Well, no, some games can't read it at all. We're talking about like games that can read it once it's in the folder. I mean, despite the save file being inside a folder. We glance around amongst each other and eventually shake our heads. No. I guess I'll be off then. Oh, there's a moon here as well. See, so this thing is neat, but it's behind. The tooltips are all behind the foreground. I guess I'll be off then. And what was neat? This thing. So when we went to save the game, there's a thing here that you could create a new folder to put your saves into. So assumedly, so that if you have several characters, you can. This is what we're assuming. We don't know, but so that if you have several characters, you can several playthroughs. You can separate their saves. Yeah, got about 3.5 hours before we come back. Make sure you're back in the safe zone by then. Just as Claire said, the train tickets that were on our phones have been replaced with a countdown timer, starting at 3:27:51. Nice. She reboards the train and it pulls out of the station, leaving the four of us painfully alone. Shall I do the honors? Ready when you are. All living things draw energy from the 5 moons, but only a trained animal familiar can manifest that energy in physical form. These familiars can imbue that magic onto others, which can temporarily make that being magical too. She has a nice skirt. I'm only noticing that right now. And both the autosaves and the hard save use it. I don't like the system. Bree closes his eyes and takes a deep breath. I can feel a familiar energy permeating my body as I transform. Like I said, stay close and follow instructions. Ooh, now we've transformed. Look, she's also in her new state. And now we can see the tooltips. Tana, 100%, affects attack the most, yeah. Oh, this is still behind whatever this is though. There are only 4 moons. The 5th one must be somewhere behind the building. Also, this is still offset wrongly. So, to hover over you, well, to hover over you, I have to put my mouse to the left of you. To hover over you, I must put my mouse to the left. To hover over you, I have to go here. So yeah, the boxes for the highlighting are still offset. We should get moving. 3 hours might seem like a lot, but it will go by quickly. Is she talking about my stream? She must be talking about my stream, right? We're already 1 hour in. She looks around. See, the first character... No. The first character is also a little bit offset. The box comes all the way here, though. So this box is actually pretty huge. So I think what happens is not that these characters are too far to the left. It's that the boxes are so big that it overlaps and overwrites the one below it, right? What basically ruins the game? Sorry. So each character's like hitbox, so to speak, hover box. If I go from the left now, it's here. So the box is here, and it probably extends here. But the moment I hit this person's boundary, that one takes precedence instead. Oh, the boxes, you're just being silly here. I should have known, Emmy. He looks around. Several buildings are scattered about, each connected to a single central building through elevated glass walkways. I'd like to find a building that isn't connected to the central one to start. I don't know what's causing the fatalities there, but this way we can limit our chances of it slithering over to another building to greet us. I don't think she's going to find what she's looking for. They seem deliberately connected to a central hub for a reason. But to my surprise, when I look around, I see a crooked building off to my right, not connected to any of the others. Somehow I didn't notice it until now. What about that one? That'll do. As we approach the building, I start to notice odd details. For a split second, the building wobbles. Pieces jump out of place and others go completely missing, then quickly set themselves right again. That's kind of what to do. Burn the building down. Ignore it. I want to... Obviously, this is like the bad answer. This is the good answer. And this is the chaotic answer. I have to click this, right? Burn the building down. Wait, nobody move a muscle. The others freeze. Bree, give me as much magical energy as you can. Bree nods. I concentrate the energy into a pit in my chest as tightly as I can pack it. Then with a grunt, force it down both my arms out of my hands. The flames make contact with invisible air shortly in front of us. Revealing a bodkin web just like before. As the building vanishes in front of us, webbing and bodkins alike are ignited. The creatures run in circles attempting to douse the flames. Huh, I guess the Hammer Guild was right. Oh, it starts a battle. Status effects cause extra complications to happen at the beginning of a character or enemy's turn. Burns cause a lot of damage at the beginning of each turn but go away over time. Poison causes a little damage at the beginning of each turn but doesn't go away unless healed. A stun character loses a turn but this also goes away over time, yeah. It looks like you have to control all 4 of them. So what's your attack? Taunt, Energy Sword, Quick Sword Strike that also saps the target's energy, lowering their defense. Engage the next attack, nice. You're like a paladin. You also have Generate Magic, same as him. Lightning Speed, a quick strike that knocks the foe off balance, chance to stun. Whips out Torrent of Wind, buffering all enemies. So this is my only AoE skill, as far as I know. You thought someone would make an excuse to stop it from actually happening? Nope. Wow, that one shot like 2 of them. You know what? You just generate magic. See that those boxes are too quick and too ugly. Ha. So I could fireball him. Or I could. Let's swat him first. Nice. They got one shot. Victory. Good thing you noticed that. I would have led us right into a trap. I would have lead us into a trap. Yeah, lead us right into a trap. Led us? We've had a little experience with these guys before. And besides, if there's one thing I'm good at, it's setting stuff on fire. I probably shouldn't have said the last part. Author's note. Ubisoft does not condone arson. That was too close. Did you know there's an early access game where you play as a small witch and get to build a hut with chicken legs? Nope. What is it called? Where do we even go now? Lacking a good enough option to get excited about, we wordlessly begin to walk towards the nearest building and hope for the best. We wordlessly begin to walk towards the nearest building and hope for the best. Rika. No, I haven't heard of that one. So we're the nearest building, right? Nearest building. Front door, back door. Front door. Ooh. The song has turned vocal. Or partially vocal. But wait. So the music also changes when I go back and forth in scene. And on this scene, it's the same song, but there are no vocals. The Heart on Foul Licks is from the Baba Yaga folklore. Nice. Oh, enjoy your ads. So on this scene, it's the same song, but there's no vocals. When we go forward, it's the same song, but now there are vocals. That's very nice. Also, can I take the other option? We can take the other option by scrolling back with the mouse wheel and selecting the other thing. Anyway, we enter the lobby, turning the flashlights on our phone to see better in the dark. The stench of abandonment hangs in the air, a musty mixture of stale air and rotted wood. Vinyl flooring crunches underfoot as our steps crash the thin layer of dirt that coats it. A desk takes up most of the room's back end, with a large logo over it that reads Botkin Technologies, whatever that means. How come this thing didn't have a hover? Oh, now it does. I wonder if it might refer to the objects that litter the few desks around the room. They appear to be electronics, barbaric ancient devices that carry lightning in their veins and belch flames when broken. It's a wonder these ancient humans didn't blow themselves up more often. Light from a single window, this one, illuminates a door on the opposite side, this one. Scattering sounds can be heard from the other. From the other. But from the other what? You mean the other room, I guess? From the other side? After my eyes have a chance to adjust, I realize there's another open door tucked in a dark corner the window doesn't illuminate. Actually, it's probably this. And finally, a door smaller than the others looks like it goes to the back of the building. This one. Maybe. We know that there's a fight here, right? We kind of cheated for that. Because when I pick this option, we had a fight there. So I think this option probably starts a fight. Scattering sounds. What scattering sounds there? Scattering sounds is okay. Scattering sounds is through this door. Darkness is through. This is a door. This is a door. This is a door. This is not well explained. So what darkness are they talking about? So one door, scattering door. This door, dark corner door. This door, back of the building door. So those 3 are options. Big door, scattering down sounds, small door to the back. But this darkness is not really defined. So let's pick it. We scan our flashlights around the perimeter of the pitch black room, then quickly turn them off. This seems to be where the Botkins sleep, and we've already disturbed a couple of our lights. Sorry. Let's go the other way. Wait, I saw a key hanging on the wall over there. She points to the room's back wall. Of course the key's in here. So what do we do now? One of us should sneak in and see if we can grab it without them noticing. Sometimes choices will have a variable chance of success. These will be represented by a die with the chance of success next to it. Ah! You lose stamina and get it. One of you two should do it because you're flying creatures. Right? I guess this is 100% thing, so... Some of the reviews are saying yes, UI issues and a lot of bugs. Are you talking about Rekka or are you talking about this game? I guess you're talking about Rekka. Well, early access, right? So hopefully they iron it out. Gigi, did you get a good look at where it is? Sure. The conversation is weird. Gigi, did you get a good look at where it is? Sure thing, I'll grab it real quick. The answer doesn't match the question, but that's okay. Gigi flies over to where she saw the key and grabs it without much fuss. Basically, there's too early access. We've played a lot of demos like that as well. Hopefully some of the demos that we've played that were too early access patch up their stuff before an actual early access launch. I'm sure this will be useful somewhere. You can click on the purple bar at the top of the screen to see items you picked up. I can't right click on this to bring up anything. So okay, just a random key. Go to the lobby. Go through the big door. Now we have the 3 doors, these 3 doors left. Small door to the back. I know this causes a fight. Big door is this door back here. Scattering sounds is this one. Through the big door. We notice the door is locked, but the key we collected earlier fits in the hole perfectly. We find a room filled with locked metal desks. I also notice one of the floorboards is slightly lifted. Examine the desk. I pick a desk and start looking it over. We found a key for this room lying around, so maybe we could find one for the desk. However, the metal is also pretty flimsy. If I had some extra firepower, I might be able to burn right through the top. This floorboard could be burned away by sufficiently hot enough flame. If I recall, green flame is hotter than red. So I can't actually do anything with that? Nope. Go through the small door to the back. We walk in, and I'm greeted by a group of green and purple Botkins eating what appears to be the remnants of something. 2 pink Botkins stand at either side of their flanks, keeping a sort of watch. They look more intimidating than the rest. The 2 of them make direct eye contact as we walk in. Actually, let's go through the front door. So this is wrong. So what this is, what's seen, like this option is supposed to show if we approach this building from the back door. Because that was one of the options. But now that we're approaching this room from the front, this should not happen. So that's kind of a mistake by the game. We want to fight them? Sure, why not? Stand your ground. Very nice. You start. Strong gaze burn enemy. Maybe you start. Go Fiber, what's his face over here? You did not get burned. You go AoE everyone. You got energy sword, that guy. You don't have... You go generate magic. Kaira tastes like stress. Kotori tastes like a volcano. Yellow volcano shoots a cluster of sticky web at someone. Kotori tastes like a volcano. Yeah, the enemy font is so bad. What are these insects? They look like spiders from Don't Starve, don't they? All I'm thinking when I look at them are the spiders from Don't Starve. Except colorful. Yeah, they have 6 legs. Well, maybe they have 2 more small legs behind. Or underneath or something. I mean, I'm not gonna judge. But it's definitely a very Don't Starve kind of vibe. Okay, you took a lot of damage. You need a heal. Like so. You have an AoE. Let's fireball this guy. And then you do your AoE. If you... Oh, you can't, can you? No, not enough magic to do that. Uh-oh. I can do this at least to kill him off. But you're gonna have to generate magic. Apparently yours is not as good. You only generate 40. So this character is stunned. Although you can't really tell because they are... Where is their like... I guess stun got recovered, but I never saw this person's like the status, the debuff icon. 50% of max health should probably go here. Are you alright, Emmy? So... No, you still have to generate magic. Well, it would be nice to kill this guy off, but I don't think we can. Well, hope for the best. IDK. Okay, don't kill her. Ow. The thing is, he's my only healer. Oh, I could do this to negate. Okay. Ah. If the ally is already gone this turn. So this is strange because if the ally is already gone, it either gives them an extra turn or heals one stun. Does this always give them an extra turn if they don't have a stun? But if they're stunned, they can't go this turn. They can't have already gone this turn. What I need to do though is this. Ideally, I need you to go again. And then I need you to generate magic. And then I need you to whirlwind. And you to strike this guy. Which didn't kill him, but close enough. Because your generate magic is stronger than his generate magic. But at this point you can generate magic, it's fine. Are you poisoned or something? I think he is poisoned. But I can't see it because there's no icon. But when I do something like this, it shows. Oh, is it because stamina 25 now? No, it is. It's because he doesn't have enough stamina to cast this. Okay, just rest. Just nuke this guy. There we go. I need to generate. I basically need to do the same thing. Invigorate you. You can cast a heal on her. Because we supposedly also carry forward, like we'll heal some health and stamina when we leave this battle, but we won't heal to full. So there's kind of an advantage in I think there's kind of an advantage in stalling the fight and trying to heal out. I feel like it anyway. Can I do this on you? Nice, you're stunned. Okay, stay stunned. Now you generate magic. Invigorate you. Heal. What's his face? Rest. Unstun, very good. Heal. Stun you again? Sure, I'll take that. Invigorate you. Rest. You actually have nothing to do now. He's not gonna attack again, so I don't really need to cast any of this. So just pass. Pass? Yeah. Okay, you need to rest. I'm not certain if we regenerate this. So I kind of want you to generate magic just in case. You rest. You start. Perfect. See, we finished like almost full. I guess you do regenerate. Well, yeah, it pushed me back to 100 magic, and it healed everyone except your health. Your health didn't fully heal, but everyone's stamina went back up to 100. You were at 70 something, 60 something stamina. With a hiss, they turn tail and flee outside the door. That's so cool. A whole gang of us against a whole gang of them. That's what being a magical girl is supposed to be. Personally, I'd prefer to run into as few creatures that want to eat me as possible. Unlock Side Story, Kaida's Special Birthday Part 1. Side stories available in full game. This reminds me of the other magical girl game that we played. The aquarium one. Right? I feel like that one had side stories as well. Or maybe it's just that their plots were very strange. Go back to the lobby. What is this tick here? Oh, return. Actually, let's save. Follow the scattering noises, so through this door, we go through the door opposite the window. Two bodkins are dancing around a fire pit that casts a sickly green flame on the wall. Food. Yes, food has come to us. Time to roast over fire. See, again, these guys also have big boxes around them. For this guy to be highlighted, I need to come all the way out here. Time to eat. Run to the lobby, fight them. Of course we fight them. There are only 2 of them. Yeah, so magic does heal up. We were at 75 of 100 when we ended. Technically, energy sword first. Fireball. I guess I don't need to cast this anymore then. Go stun him. Very nice. You can generate magic. Wait, I thought you... Didn't you resist? Weren't you stunned? Did you go twice somehow? It feels like he went twice somehow. He unstunned himself and then he attacked me. Oh well, eat a fireball. Food is too spicy. This is why dead food is better. The 2 of them scurry away, leaving us in the silence only punctuated by the flickering green flame. Hey, what's this? A shimmering gold object rests in the corner of the room, among other scattered knickknacks. I bet we could use this to open that big door we saw earlier. The green flame the Bodkins was dancing around now stands alone in the room now. That's like the kind of writing I do on my blood. Casting its eerie green glow on a group of us. Go through the big door, back to the room with the green flame. Aren't we in the room with the green flame? Ah! Absorb the green flame. I absorb the flame from the fire pit. Instead of filling me with warmth, it gives me a small chill. I don't know what this does though. Wasted a bunch of stamina on it, but that's fine. I have 6 of whatever this is. So, go through the big door. Use... So that's why I needed to absorb the flame for. Okay. Because she did say earlier that the green flame, which was hotter, could be used to destroy the floorboard, right? So do that. I unleash the green flame into the rotted floorboard and it burns away nicely. Inside is a tiny music box with a floral pattern printed on it. It's too broken to play anymore. I wonder what song this used to play. Some of its engravings are still visible. I bet there's someone in the city who can analyze it for us. Nice. Nice. I like the way they have these unlockable short stories. Use the key on the desk. The key goes into the keyhole without effort and turns with a click. The top lifts up with a sickening creak, and I can only get it up 10% of the way before the hinges stop me. Bree sticks his head in the crevice to get a better look. Jackpot! He pulls out a box that rattles when he moves it. He tenderly opens the box to reveal 6 wooden sticks, painted yellow and capped with their signature rubber tip. The word Caterson is engraved in green capital letters down the side. He hands me one from the box. Using the extra strength of my magical gold farm, I break the yellow stick in half, revealing its grey core. The dust inside leaks onto my hands, coating the upper part of my palms in the signature silvery shine. I hand the stick to Bree, who puts it back in the box and closes it up. That's everything you needed, right? Yes, it is. Then we should move on. Gigi and I still need to confront the Queen, and we need to be back before the train arrives. I'm hit with a brief pang of guilt as I realize how much these 2 are going out of their way to help us. So those things were pencils, right? When they say Caterson dust, what they actually mean is it's like pencil graphite lead. Claire must be running late. I've been checking the countdown clock until the train arrives, and it keeps jumping back up. Good, that will buy us some time. Gigi and I will go to the central building. You 2 go back to the station and its barrier. Thank you for helping us. Kaida smiles and it's the largest smile I've seen her make. You're very welcome. I look forward to hearing more of your adventures. You have the skills to become an exceptional magical girl. I mull over my words a bit before speaking. Can't we help you? You've already helped us so much. Kaida's face turns stern. No, I'm not putting your lives in danger any more than I have to. Besides, you are strictly forbidden from entering the central building. Claire would have a fit. But I said no, she's sweating. Defeated, I start walking back to the station. And Kotori, now she's angry. Oh, she's frowning. She pauses for a beat longer than I'm expecting. Remember what I said earlier? If you're not back by the time the train comes, leave without us. How much time until the train's here? Half an hour. I can't help but worry about Kaida and Kiki as we wait at the station. Bree and I try playing games on our phones, but it does little to distract me from the pit building in my stomach. When I was with her, I felt this incredible sense of safety. I can't help but hope she'll continue to mentor me after this night is over, even though I know she has no reason to. Are you even paying attention? The platform started disappearing 5 minutes ago. I bring my focus back to my phone screen just in time to see my character lose his last life as he plummets into the lava below. I'm sorry, I rub my eyes with fatigue. How long is left now? Bree's face crunches with confusion as he checks on his phone. It still says half an hour. I hope she's here before the sun rises. I doubt they'd be that late. You know how dangerous that would be. Still, I peek my head out of the bluish barrier and notice the sky is already starting to get lighter. Kaida and Gigi aren't here either. They won't have the power of the moons for much longer. We anxiously wait around for another hour with nobody showing up. Then I notice the Tourmaline Express coming towards us in the distance. Claire is at the door before the train even comes to a stop. I'm so sorry. We had a tree down on the tracks, but then the tree came to life and it shot Drontix, the fox goddess of chaos represented by the purple moon, and it shot Drontix magic out of his face and fried all the magic tech on board. And you know what? Never mind. We need to go now. She casts a worried glance at the sky as Bree and I board the train. I take one last glance out toward the ruins, hoping to see our new friends running towards us. But there's nothing there. Where are Kaida and Gigi? They're still in the central building? Claire curses under her breath. I really can't wait any longer. At this rate, the sun will be up by the time we get back to the city, and that means a huge power dip for all of us on board. But we can't just leave without her. Claire chews on the end of her stylus. Alright, 10 minutes. But if she's not back by then, we have to leave. 10 minutes comes and goes, but there's still no sign of either of our missing companions. What's going to happen to them? The Cobra Guild will come find them, but at this point there's no way they could be out before sunrise. They'll have to make an expedition once the sun sets again, but I'm not sure if anyone could last that long. Well, we're part of the Cobra Guild now, let's go help. No, there are rules about team size during rescue missions. I can't think of one situation where they send a solo pair to a building like that. We may just need to accept that the two of them have met their fate. I can't help it. Gigi and Kaida did so much for us, and we're just going to abandon them? That doesn't seem right. Well, I don't care what you say. I'm going out to help them. I charge out the door and through the station's barrier. You get back here right now. I mean it. Oh, for the love of... We can't stay any longer. Alright, everyone, let's move out. I run toward the central building and frantically look around. My urgency surprises even me, but the idea of people who helped us so much dying for their sacrifice is too much to bear. Kotori, it's not your fault this happened. We're not going to be able to fix anything. No, I'm tired of being treated like a child and told to stay in my lane. I'm a fully fledged magical girl, capable of tackling any challenge I put my mind to. And I still have 5 more green flames after all. I don't care if you, Claire, or any of the guilds we've applied to say otherwise. In the middle of the room, 3 bodkins are throwing a large white ball back and forth. They turn to stare at us as we enter, and the ball rolls unceremoniously in our direction. As it hits my foot, I realize it's not actually a ball at all, but a skull. Throwback ball! Throw the skull back. Bury the skull outside. Break the skull. Eat the skull. Look, this is a demo, right? So like, even if I ever play the full game, I'm not going to carry this save into that game, hypothetically, if I play the full game. So during the demo or during a demonstration, a random like playthrough of the game, you have to pick the most ridiculous option so that anyone watching the stream, plus me myself, will not be tempted to pick that option when they play the game for real, since they already know what's going to happen. Therefore, you're going to eat the skull. Katari? Oh goddesses, why did I just do that? That was so disgusting. It was like some outside force compelled me, someone watching my every move. If there is someone out there, I hope making people eat gross things doesn't become a trend for them. Ah! You make new ball right now! Okay, I don't have stamina, so oh, green fireball. Oh, because I have 5 of those things, I get 5 casts of this. Ah, interesting. I don't really want to use it now. I do need to rest, but I still can cast this 3 times. Let's fireball. Your face. Okay. I will need to generate magic. I don't really like this. Oh no, I need to generate magic for sure. What? Oh, come on. So anyway, value error. Kaida Hikari is not in this. And I'm not Windows 10. I'm on Windows 11. But anyway, no one will pick that option. Don't worry. Ignore. Such a playful, such a big meaning. So I can. He sticks his tongue out at us, and the bodkins scatter, leaving us to examine the room. They went up a secret passage of some kind. It's up that chute. Climb the chute, climb the stairs. Go back to the side building. What does this even do? I don't know. Let's climb the chute. The chute leads to a rather barren section of the 2nd floor. Several bodkin-sized holes litter the room. Holes Bree could fit in, but certainly not me. The only human-sized door being thoroughly boarded up. I have a very stupid idea, and I'd like you to tell me it's dumb. What if I crawled through one of those holes and looked around? Just to see what's there. See, I don't like that our stamina didn't heal at all. Because it's been a while, right, since the flames thing. And we sat on the train platform and sat there for like an hour and a half or 2 hours playing games, longer even. But our stamina never refilled. It does sound dangerous, but we're also pressed for time and don't have any other leads. Sure. I'm sorry, Bree, but you do have a point. I don't love the idea of sending you in there alone, but there's no way I could fit in there. Gah. Yeah, those are my thoughts too. Okay, yell to me if anything happens. He crawls through one of the holes in the wall, and I can hear the sound of debris shifting under his feet for a while. Then, from a distance, ah, Koto! His scream is cut off mid-word, followed by silence. Burn the wood. The door leads to a weird sort of hideout. cluttered with rotting food and what were probably once rusty weapons. Claw marks mar the walls and doors. The weird thing about this room is that Bodkins don't eat any of the stuff here. Only humans do. Surprisingly, a wind picks up in the room, knocking a piece of paper out of one of the piles of junk and onto the floor in front of us. What do you mean by us? I thought I'm alone here. Now Twitch broke. Hi. Hi, welcome back. I have 0 drop frames here, so it's a you thing. I pick it up and read it aloud. My dear Ellie, I hope at least one of these letters has reached you. Though if I were to choose one letter for you to receive, it would be this one. It would seem our time is more limited than we thought, and I desperately need your help. What the heck is this? Better hold on to it. We go back to the room the secret chute lead us to. So is Kotori with me or not? Am I alone or not? Because there's only one character here, but it keeps saying we. I'm back in the central building where the Bodkins were playing the skull. But... The stairs lead to a room that is mostly windows. A glance at the sunrise reminds me of the urgency. There appear to be 3 ways out of the room. The stairs we came from lead to the first floor. More stairs lead to the 3rd floor. And a glass walkway leads back to the side building we found the Caddis and dust in. Third floor, so there's no text here, just an examine room. A call for help pierces the air, freezing my blood cold. Twitch is dying on you, I'm sorry. Gigi and Kaida are backed into a corner. Gigi hides behind Kaida's legs while Kaida holds up a shield, attempting to block the onslaught of Bodkins throwing their bodies at her. Hold on, I'm coming! I rush into the room full speed and run into an invisible sticky wall. No, no, no! I realize what I run into far too late, long after my struggling has got me further tied up in the thick webbing. The illusion dissolves, taking Kaida, Gigi, and all the Bodkins with it. Instead, the real Kaida is next to me, suspended slightly in the air and tangled up in the web worse than I am. The energy sapping toxins have clearly been working on her for a while. It looks like she can barely lift her head. I told you to leave without us. Queen, 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 Queen. The purple Bodkin, who was the first to shout, takes the lead, as the others follow in quick pursuit. A few others bite into our clothing, hair, and web restraints in order to drag us further into the building and up a flight of stairs. Kaida does her best to whisper in my ear. I have a knife concealed in my right boot. Can you reach it? Not yet, but I'll try my best. I try to wriggle myself over to Kaida, but I'm bitten by one of our captors as punishment. It feels like forever they were dragged through twisting halls and up ancient stairwells. Finally, we're taken to a large room near the top of the building. The back wall, weird kind of, the backdrop changed. The text backdrop changed rather. The back wall is entirely made of glass, looking out over many rows of trees that make up the forest. I don't think it's me, right? No, it's not me. This is just a really long paragraph. Bree has been plopped on his side in the center of the room, half his face smashed against the floor and his body bound with webbing. Gigi is being turned on the pit in the fireplace to the right of the room, also bound in the Bodkin's magical webbing. A handful of the Bodkins dance in unison around the fireplace in anticipation of the meal. Someone should really tell them the dragon familiars are resistant to fire. But somehow the magical webbing is also resistant to fire. At the back of the room is a large black marble desk. It looks like it's designed for a human to sit on a chair, but the giant creature comfortably rests her elbows on the surface while sitting on the floor, her reflections faint on the desk surface. In front of her is a label that reads Elidonna, the queen of the Bodkins she has a face to. Her venom can turn humans into more Bodkins for her family. Queen, Queen, Queen. The purple Bodkin leading the charge climbs to the top of the desk. He purrs softly as Eldona pets him with one of her sky-flag appendages. My, it seems my babies have finally found some new prey. What kind of feast are we having tonight? She gets up from her desk and gracefully walks over to us. The purple bodkin tries to grab her arm as she leaves and pouts when he fails to convince her to stay. She leans over, putting her face directly in front of mine. She's so close I can smell the rotted breath coming from her nostrils. You're a scrawny one, aren't you? I'll probably be hungry again half an hour after I eat you. She moves over to Kaida, investigating with similar fervor. Far too muscular. Your meat will be so tough and hard. Finally, it's Bree's turn. She picks him up by the scruff of the neck and turns him over a few times, much to his fervent protests. Disgusting! With an effort swing of her arm, she tosses Bree over her shoulder and smack into the window behind the marble desk. The purple bodkin giggles as he watches Bree fly overhead. Elidana rubs her temples. Hardly what I consider a meal, but it's been so long since my children have eaten flesh. I suppose this will have to do. Groups of bodkins rush up to us and check our pockets. We throw our phones and some vials Khalid brought to take the venom samples onto the floor, clearly not interested. Then, they find the sticks of kerosene dust in Bree's bag. Wait, we need those! But despite our pleas, the bodkins dump the wooden sticks into the fireplace to use as kindling. Once again, a cheer erupts from the crowd. Ah, my little babies. Suddenly, the door behind us slams open. A woman in a pink suit poses dramatically in the doorway, saying nothing. Oh my goodness. What are you doing here? Kaida's chaotic older sister. Saving my baby sister, of course. Look at her necktie has a little heart thing in the middle of it. You don't even have a little animal friend. What makes you think you stand you don't even have a little animal friend. What makes you think you stand a fraction of a chance? Because I found your weakness, bodkin queen. She snaps her feet out to shoulder width apart, looks down at the floor, and triumphantly hoists a small can of insect repellent high above her head. After a pause for dramatic effect, she lifts her head slowly, a smug grin plastered on her face. Now prepare to perish. Elidana is upon her in the flesh, lifting the woman up by her shirt collar and snorting inches from her face. You think a mere spray bottle is going to... Without warning, I sprays the can of repellent directly into the oversized bodkin's eye. Ah! You idiot! The roomful of bodkin rushes to attend to their teary-eyed queen. In the chaos, I make a move for Kaida's boot and unsheath the hidden dagger. Awkwardly, I angle my body so I can begin cutting the webbing around her arms and legs. Just as I'm finishing up, Elidana hears the noise and turns to stare directly at us, one eye screwed shut in pain. Not so fast! I barely have time to free myself before the queen is looming over me. I slash wildly with the dagger and manage to hit one of her many fangs. Venom leaks out the fracture it creates. Ah! Dodging as one of Elidana's claws comes crashing down onto the ground, I grab one of the sample vials and collect as much of the dripping poison as I can. Now doesn't seem to be the time to do this, but you know. But Elidana's two claws hit me on either side of my torso, drawing blood on both sides. She lifts me in the air and I prepare for the worst. Instead, she chuckles. A soft, deep chuckle as she looks at me with an oddly studious gaze. You're tougher than I originally gave you credit for, aren't you, little one? Perhaps I'll make you mine instead. Elidana opens her mouth wide and injects rows of razor-sharp fangs into my shoulder. Pain ricochets through me like the fragments of a shattered mirror. The sides of my vision fade in and out, and I barely registered the torrent of blood dripping down my side. That's a good girl. A blade made of light whizzes by inches from my head and punctures Elidana's arm. She lets out a shriek and I fall to the ground like an old rag. That's when I notice magical energy coursing through my body. It's small at first, but grows in size, and suddenly I can feel my strength returning. It's not much, but it'll do for now. I, Kaida, and Gigi have already begun to confront Elidana, the two humans in their respective magical girl farms. I didn't even notice it happening, but I've been transformed into my magical girl farm as well. Can you fight? I think so. It's been so long since I've gotten a chance to play with my food. You'll give me the satisfaction of a good hunt for sure. Now playing versus Elidana. So this is a boss fight music. And this is so squished now, there are 5 characters here to control. So your skills are bombards the target with dangerous radiation, automatically poisons the target, but has a chance of poisoning the user as well. Transform poison into healing. Oh, okay. Severs matter in the air, causing an explosion that damages all enemies and allies, potentially burning, poisoning, and or stunning her. The skill is explosion. Ja did a dead salvation at some point. Thank you, Ja. Rest recovers 20 stamina. I've healed up completely somehow while being bound and bitten. I lost some health and I've got 5 poison here, but my stamina is completely recovered. So you have an AoE, you have a fireball that will synergize with this AoE, you have a energy sword that will synergize with other attacks. You're really just healing for now, but you have this as well. And then there's this. This seems chaotic, right? I mean, obviously it is chaotic, but it seems a little overly chaotic. But I don't hate it. But you are also the person that can deal with the poison. I should almost get rid of this poison first, so you're not being poisoned times 5. Let's do that at the end of this turn though. Let's start with an energy sword on you. Fireball on you. You do that, we should kill you. You need to generate magic. And you transform poison here. So your bite does 36 damage, okay. Let's get rid of the other ad, so... In fact, I don't need to energy sword you, I don't think. I'll energy sword you. Fireball you. Oh. Do I really need to do this? I might not really need to do that. This is a cheaper attack, probably. You generate magic. You also generate magic. Here's an AoE attack. And 2 people got poisoned, okay? I could explosion, but at this point no, I'm not gonna explosion. Explosion seems like a trap in this case because I have so many more characters than the enemies. Than there are enemies. I need to heal you, so let's see how much this does. Actually, yeah, let's heal you. So that turned into 20 health. Yeah. I do need to start healing, so let's heal you. You can go generate magic. One improvement to the UI that I need is who still can move. Oh, I guess I can just do this. Swing my mouse back and forth to see. So you can move and you can move. I'm gonna energy sword. Yeah. Sure. Energy sword you and then fireball you. I'm not sure if the defense penalty stacks. Wow, that was a nice fireball. Maybe it does stack? I just one-shot her. I one-shot her from like slightly over half health. Elidonna stumbles backwards and collapses on the ground. Eye obscures the left side of her face with the palm of her hand, tips her head up and grins down at her. She's very chunibia. Impressive! It's been a long time since I've had to use 100% of my power like this. Don't flatter yourself, pest. You may have crippled me for now, but my babies will make short work of you. On command, the army of Bodkins floods the room from behind her and charges right for us. I chuckles. That's what you think. But we'll see how tough your babies are when I unleash my secret weapon. Chemical Inferno! Okay, this is the explosion thing. She takes out, maybe this. She takes out a can of insect repellent and throws it directly into the fireplace Geeky was previously being roasted on. No! With a loud pop, the can explodes, vomiting piles of cinder and ash onto the floor, and her face is like, her face was already like that. No, her face was like this, but once she became chaotic, her face became like this, with like hearts on her eyes and mouth. The cinders land on a few of the Bodkins dancing near the fireplace, who begin to run around the room frantically. Gearies, come over here so she can put it out. Phrasing. No, don't, Wait, what? Gearies, come over here so mommy can put it out. No, don't, Don't spread it to the curtains. Oh. But the Bodkins only succeed in spreading the fire further, and soon the entire room is aflame. So these are the dangers of AI people keep fretting about. Yeah, exactly. Her name is Ai, as in AI in Japanese means like love, usually. That's usually what the AI name stands for. Hey mouse dude, how hard is it to heal wounds received from, say, a fall from a 4th-story window? Bree, don't answer that question. Well, it depends on the person, as well as how they land and what they land on. Most humans will come away with serious injuries if they survive at all. But you might be okay if you're in your magical girl form. Why do you ask? Good enough for me. Without hesitation, I leaps through the glass window behind the desk and plummets to the ground below. I told you not to answer her. Flaming debris falls from the ceiling and lands between us and the room's door, trapping us next to the broken window. We might not have many other options anymore. I like how they are also irradiated, right? She's irradiated now. You can see like green skin. She's kind of like in the same way. I think she's either radiated or poisoned. And it's hard to tell if the poison is from ice chemical or from the Spider Queen. A beam directly above us cracks, threatening to fall on our heads if we don't do something soon. We need to jump. You can use an energy shield to break our fall. See, this is good. I like it when they're using this and the previous one as well, where they referred to the healing. They're using the character's skills as part of the story. What? You're as insane as her. Trust me on this. Kaida takes a deep breath. The beam begins to buckle. We'll jump on 3. 1. The beam cracks again, becoming more bowed under its own weight. 3! She grabs me by the waist, and I'm hoisted off my feet just before the beam comes crashing down behind us. Engulfing me in her arms as best she can, she angles her back towards the ground and conjures the strongest shield she can. The shield shatters on impact, and we both slam hard into the ground. I land on my injured arm, which makes it extra painful. Yet, I'm able to shakily stand up, and once I get my bearings, I'm ready to help the others. Gigi flutters to the ground, down to the ground next to me, carrying Bree in her talons. It looks like they're distracted, but we should still get out of here as soon as we can. Kaida is the slowest to get up, breathing heavily and grunting in discomfort as she does. She takes another reassuring breath, in and out, before returning to a full standing position. I can't believe that actually worked. Where's I? Over here. Eck. It's clear from looking at her she's dislocated her leg badly. Yet it still hasn't managed to wipe the smug grin from her face. Unbelievable. Bree rushes over to give her some quick healing. You didn't have to come save me, Hide everything under control. Oh, yeah, of course you did. A popping sound is heard from I's leg. We have too many injuries for me to heal by myself. Especially you, Kotori. We should get going anyway. If we continue to chat down here, they'll discover us any minute. A chilling realization settles in. Where are we going to go? We don't have a train anymore. Although the tree cover still blocks much of the light, it's easy to tell that full sunrise has already come. Don't worry, I already took care of that. We follow I's directions and end up back at the train tracks. To my surprise, the Tourmaline Express is already there and waiting. Claire is the only one on board when we enter. She's sitting cross-legged on one of the cushions with her eyes closed, massaging her temples. She opens her eyes and stands up when she hears us come in. Oh, thank the goddesses. There's a deceased person's report on all of you. I have to nullify at headquarters, but I'll take that any day over planning a funeral. Her expression turns sour as she notices I standing next to us. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I suppose I should thank you. Yay! You guys wouldn't believe it. I was doing my end of day sweep, making sure nobody left anything behind. And this one walks in and just drives away. Full throttle, I might add. You're lucky you didn't launch us off the tracks. You just have to believe in the train, Claire. Believe in it deep in your heart, and it will never let you down. Claire doesn't even honor that with a response. She plops herself back onto the cushion and leans against the wall, her body going slack. Kizuna sister, yeah, I Kizuna sister. I only read that 4 minutes late. Kizuna I sister. I'm so tired. I feel like I could take a nap right here. That's fine. I'll drive. Have you ever used one of these things, Kaida? Just push this lever all the way down. Wait. She's definitely a headache of an older sister. The Tourmaline Express flies into the station at full speed. Fail-safes kick in, causing hooks that normally lie flat on the tracks to lift up and grab the bottom of the train. Nice. The sound of metal scraping on metal permeates the cabin as the heavily weighted hooks slow the train down. It's finally brought to a complete stop by slamming to the springs at the end of the trail, lurching us off our feet. See? You could get places so much faster if you just did it that way. Get out. We step outside onto the platform, all still a little dizzy from the ride back. Hey, that's me. Although the sun has risen outside the barrier, night is just starting in here. This platform reminds me of that game, the other game that we played 2 Steam Next Fest ago, The Moves of the Diamond Hand. That game also started on a platform similar to this. There you are. A hawk lands menacingly on top of the beat-up train. Hey, Buzz. So what? You think these are just toys you can take on a joyride whenever you want? Look what you did to my train. It wasn't me. The train was hijacked. By her. She points at I. Hello, ma'am. I'm the Larimer City train inspector. She's the train inspector. The what? I came here today to test your establishment security, and to be honest, I didn't like what I saw. Claire's boss freezes. Claire, you know it's your job to protect these trains from intruders. Now the inspector is going to give us a failing grade. The exacerbation in Claire's eyes is palpable. She's not. She sighs in defeat. I'm sorry, ma'am. It won't happen again. Teehee. Oh. I hit right mouse button on accident now and then. That happens. You're darn right it won't. Before I can say anything, the woman flies away into the night, leaving Claire alone with her broiling tarts. I can talk to her if you want. I'll explain the whole thing. Nah, it's okay. Once she's made up her mind on something, I usually can change it. She lets out a long sigh. I'm going to go home, pour a drink, and go to bed. We should be doing the same. We have some injuries to take care of. Speaking of which, I want to take you two back to our guild's healer to get patched up. That's so generous. Are you sure he won't mind? Oh, he will. But I'll make sure to put him in his place. He's really a big softy deep down anyway. I'll lead the way. Now playing Powder Snow, Peridian. Kaida leads us to an apartment tucked between two larger buildings. The living room has been converted into a greeting area of sorts, while a twisting flight of stairs leads up to what looks like bedrooms. A banner that reads, "The Songbird Guild," hangs from the ceiling above the door. That's the title of the game. A small guild that gets most of its money subcontracting with other guilds. It has a symbol of a... Well, I'm sure it's supposed to be a guild, a bird of some kind, but I can't actually see what symbol it is. It's funny we haven't found a lot of these guilds. The place is small, with every inch of space clearly taken advantage of, but they've done a good job of making it feel homely. Shingo, we're back! Shingo character. Shingo is Shingo. About time. I was beginning to think something happened to you three. I dislocated my leg. What do you do this time? Jump off a cliff? You're actually not far from the mark there. Shingo squints at Bree and me, noticing us for the first time. Who are these two? This is Kotori and this is Bree. They helped us on our mission today. We all received a few scrapes and bruises, but Kotori has injuries that need to be looked at right away. Ah, my face. So, once again, you're giving my services away to strangers for free? Shingo, she saved my life. Shingo looks at her expectantly, as if waiting for more. Just heal her. Fine, follow me. Kiki, you come too. He leads me into a small bedroom, the only one on the first floor. One end of the room has a bed that looks like it's recently been slept in. The other has a desk full of carefully organized medicines and tools. So what happened to you, kid? I was bitten by a giant bodkin. Shingo laughs. Back in my day, there used to be the classic excuse to get out of school. Ha! I wonder if my grandfather would have ever used that one. Shingo's eyes narrow. How old do you think I am? I should guess low so I don't insult him. 57? Huh? How about 33? This ad is actually playing. Oh no. A few days ago when I opened up my browser, I had a Twitch ad blocker update. So either you haven't run that update or the update is now outdated as well. Not that you can hear me since the ad's playing. I'm so sorry. I mean, you look really good for 33. Shingo just grumbles to himself as he sets up his tools. I'm just gonna do a quick scan, nothing major. Gigi provides him with magic and his hand starts to glow a bright orange. The aura of body magic saturates the air. He moves his hand up my arm into my shoulder. When his hand reaches my shoulder, I wince in pain. Shingo immediately pulls his hand back. I'm going to have to purify your blood. It's not short or easy. How much time do you have? As much time as I need to get healthy. Good answer. As Shingo said, the process is a long one. But bit by bit, he manages to get all my wounds healed and pain-free. I run my arm through its range of motion. It's hard to imagine that earlier today I could barely move it. Better? Much better. Thank you very much. Yeah, just get out of my hair. His hair. His very fancy hair. How are you feeling? Honestly, I feel great. Bree's expression visibly relaxes. He may have been more worried than he let on. I want to apologize. For what? For not respecting your talents and experience like I should have. And the same goes for you, Bree. I treated you two like you didn't know what you were doing, and we almost died as a result. Back at the ruins, I said you had the skills to become an exceptional magical girl. Well, I take it back. You already are an exceptional magical girl. Maybe even a better one than me. Nobody has ever said anything so nice to me before. It's too bad we didn't get a Kidderson dust though. Yeah, it feels like we'll never find a guild that wants us. You should join our guild. And she disappears into the floor. She runs in, yells at, runs out. Well, we'd have to talk it over as a group. There are numerous logistics to sort out, like finding you a space to sleep and figuring out if we can afford more salaries. But off the top of my head, I think it's doable. You really mean it? Of course. Actually, I don't think that will be necessary. She produces a partially singed stick of Kidderson dust and hands it to me. I stare at it a moment, unsure what to say. You saved this for us? I knew it was important. Now you can be part of the Cobra Guild, just like you wanted. I stare down at the stick in my hands, scraping off the small bits of ash with my thumb. Somehow, I'm not as excited as I thought I'd be. I look back up at the others. We've only been together for a short while, but somehow this already feels like home. Bree tucks on my shirt sleeve. Kotori, can we talk for a bit? We turn our backs to Kaida and the others, keeping our voices to a whisper. This is like the Three Sisters Assemble, the Three Sisters meeting thing from ROD. I know the Cobra Guild was one of our top priorities, but honestly, I like this guild a lot. Me too. You want to stay here instead? Bree nuts. We turn back to the others. I appreciate what you did for us, Kiki, but if it's all the same to you, I think we'd rather be part of the Songbird Guild. Yay! You know, we can't pay you as much as the Cobra Guild can, and the work won't be nearly as exciting. I know, but... I look down at Bree. He nods. Somehow, I know this is the right decision. We have sleeping bags in the attic. You can use them until we find you proper beds. So you're okay with this proposition as well, Shingo? Sure, why not? And Gigi? Definitely. Well then, congratulations you two. Welcome to the Songbird Guild. Bree and I celebrate, the ordeal of finding a guild finally over. We spend some time setting up the sleeping bags, and then immediately crash for the night. As I settle into my sleeping bag, I can't help but fantasize about what tomorrow will bring. I haven't even been here a day, but somehow, I already know I'm gonna love it here. Don't forget to save our game. It's important to save frequently. Huh? Sorry, she speaks gibberish sometimes. You can ignore her. Let's give Kotori and Bree a chance to sleep, aye? Fine, we'll save the game. What a mess. All that. And my children didn't even get a fresh meal out of it. No matter. You'll all be worth it in the end. Hehehe, I'll see you soon. My pet. Nice. Side stories are luck, right? Coming soon. Yeah, these are luck. CG galleries, all locked. There's a lot of CGs though. 32 of them. Music room. Game over. There's a game over song that we haven't unlocked. Although this doesn't imply that. This kind of implies that there are only two separate zones in the game, right? This Bodkin Ruin zone and this like Weeping Cliff zone, and like that's it. Hopefully there are more zones than that. Hopefully there's more adventure than that, like in a full game. Encyclopedia. Also same thing, right? So we didn't unlock a lot of these, which means that they're not in the demo, which means that this encyclopedia is actually the full game's encyclopedia. But there are only two creature types, and we've already found both of them. Like this seems to indicate that the game itself is not very long. But then there are so many other zones and people we haven't found. So maybe it is very long. But some of these things we've already fully mapped out, even in the demo. So maybe it isn't very long? Hard to say. But this, plus the musical room clue, kind of indicates that it's not too long. But yeah, I think that was the end of the demo. We didn't have a special screen or anything that said, thanks for finishing the demo. But it dumped us back here, so. I like this game a lot. The story was pretty good. I definitely laughed out loud quite a few times. I think this is actually a romance story. I would need to look at the Steam page for it. Where are we? Songbird. Just gonna stare at the demo page for a while. Yeah, it is a Yuri RPG / visual novel about magical girls falling in love. So the implication is that the two girls actually do get into a relationship in the end, although they don't. This first chapter is just about them meeting, I guess. Yes, very cool game. I like it a lot. Minus like some of the UI issues, especially in combat, and that one hilarious error that we had that gave us that rampy full screen error. But yeah, that was our playthrough of the Songbird Guild. I'm definitely gonna wishlist this one. Let me stop my YouTube recording like so.